If y'all are seeing me for the first time, my name is Tracy. I'm the creator and I run our YouTube channel, but I also am the author of our blogs. And if you want like a readable tutorial version of a lot of our videos of what we're all about here at 4D Farms, we're all about faith, family, home, and farm. You can catch us on our blogs at 4dfarms.blogspot.com and 4dfarms.wordpress.com.
Good morning, y'all. It's morning time. Yeah. And I have just got a little bit of crud this morning, and I'm beginning to lose my voice. So I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing today. And if this light up here starts flickering and starts going out, don't worry. We got to find out what's wrong. I think it's a bulb trying to go out and it's affecting the rest of them, or it's in the socket. So we will get that seen about. Hopefully it'll behave during this video. But this is what I'm going to be doing. We have got a family get-together coming up, and I'm preparing a lot of dishes. But I'm like, you know what? See, I thought you were going to behave. It's not going to behave, y'all. I'm going to have to cut it out. Why does it do that when I turn my back every stinking time? I'm going to give you one more chance, and then I'm going to cut your little head off if you do it again. Okay. And then I'm just going to have to make do with the lighting that I have. I'll probably turn that light on above my table. Where was I? See? Squirrel. Anyway, interruptions. Life happens. We're getting ready for a big family get-together. And I'm like, y'all know we raise the majority of our staples, vegetables, things like that. Have them on hand. We're at home. I'm not having to go to the grocery store to buy all this stuff. Now, I did have to find like little ingredients to finish my recipes, but my grocery bill was cut in half because, and I'm doing this too along while I'm getting ready with this family get together. I did my meal planning. I already knew half of the stuff I wanted to make. I had to find the recipes and then see if I had any missing ingredients. And the best part is I have a lot of people ask me questions. Okay, you raise this garden, you harvest and you preserve all your things. Now, how do you use them in recipes? Oh, you're in for a treat today, because two of the things, I made a whole bunch of stuff yesterday, y'all, and not once did I even think about getting the camera out. But if I ever make them again, I will do a video. So that way we can just give y'all some ideas of how we use a lot of our produce that we grow and we harvest and we preserve. Today's menu, today's specialty is going to be, what is it going to be? Y'all, I got a mess in here already. I'm prepping. I got all my stations fixed up. Today's two things I'm going to make is sweet potato casserole. You know, the one that's got the marshmallows on top and the pecans, but I'm going to have to leave the marshmallows off. A lot of people don't like them. 3 to 4 members in my family cannot have the marshmallows. I could do half and half, but it's okay. They're the other ones that can eat the marshmallows like me. We're going to say, okay, if you can't eat them, I'm not going to eat them, okay? And we're okay with not having them. So my sweet potato casserole is going to just omit the marshmallows. And y'all, you can follow any sweet potato casserole, all right, recipe that you find. Well, I'm just omitting the marshmallows. So, but I'm going to be using, let me go get them. Y'all didn't go nowhere, did you? Don't leave me. Don't leave me here by myself, talking to myself. Y'all, my walls hear a lot in this house because I talk to myself. I want some intelligent advice, okay? So I talk to myself. All right, look. Home canned, dry packed sweet potatoes, okay? They're not in a syrup. They're not even in water. Nothing. I do my sweet potatoes different ways, and you will see in a lot of videos how I'm using my sweet potatoes. I could throw out so many ideas at you right now, but I'm burning daylight and I need to get busy. So the way I'm going to prepare these today is I'm going to open up these up, and I'm going to try 4 jars. We'll see how many I got, because I'm making like a 9 by 13, or it may be just a little bit bigger. And see what I got. And if I need to open up that last jar, I will. I'm going to open these jars up, drain them. I'm going to rinse them out in a colander, get that last little bit of starch out that's down here. Starch comes out of potatoes. I don't care if it's sweet potatoes or if it's any other kind of potato, russet, I don't know, Yukon, I don't care. You're going to get just a little bit of starch in the bottom. So I'm going to open these up, drain them, rinse them off, and then I'm going to reconstitute them in a little bit of boiling water to just kind of soften them back up and get their flavors back. But not too much water, okay? Because I will again drain that water off, okay? And then we'll start using this in the recipe. Now, the next one, y'all, I'm probably going to have to, after I explain this, I'm probably going to have to finish the video in a voiceover, because I'm already starting to lose my voice, and you're not going to be able to hear me, and I'm going to sound a little scruffy. So I'm probably just going to set the camera up, and y'all watch me do this, because my throat's already starting to hurt. I'm starting to lose my voice, and I'll probably start coughing, okay? So I need to give my voice a break and sip on some medicinal tea. That medicinal tea, by the way, is echinacea, yarrow, and mullein to help me get this stuff out of my chest. Okay, now, and then what's the other one? I'm going to do, there was so many decisions about my corn. So many decisions about my corn. Y'all know, maybe you don't know how we put up our corn. Just like this. Oops. I'm dripping all over the place. See my corn? Okay. I've been letting it defrost. Okay. When we put up our corn on our canning and preserving playlist, you can see this. My husband and one of the granddaughters just loves to shuck corn and pick corn with Poppy. They do the picking and the shucking out there, to where that way we can keep the husks and the silks all out there until I tell them to save me some. And we do some things with that corn silk. That's on my Natural Remedy and Apothecary playlist. We save some corn silks back. Anyway, they do that outside, keep the trash outside. They bring the buckets in to me and the other granddaughter, because she just loves to play in my sink and play in the water. And we silk it and wash it and get it good and clean. Then we just pile it up here on my island. After everything's done, we kind of let it dry just a little bit, but we work quickly so it doesn't start drying out. And we section it out and we put it in vacuum seal bags. Now, the good thing is, when we open up a bag of corn, there's like 4 different things I can do with this corn. Okay? And I'll do those in videos to show you what we do. But today, I'm going to open this up, and you'll see me do it. I could have chose between the corn casserole, just corn on the cob. I'm still going to do some corn on the cob that day for the grandkids who are not going to eat the casserole that I'm going to make, okay? It is, I don't know which one of her books it's in. But I'm making the corn that, I don't know the name of it, y'all. I just know how to make it, and we like it, and I don't know the recipe. But I will be following her recipe. And if I can find it, I will link it in the description box below, because she gets all the credit. It's her recipe, okay? And I might just be substituting some things or adding extra of an ingredient, because I'm doubling the recipe, okay? So I am using her recipe in one of her books, and I will try to find it and link the name of it below and possibly type up the recipe. Or I'll put the name of the recipe and you can go to her website, pioneerwoman.com. I think that's what her website is. And pull up that name of that recipe. You can find it. You can print it off of your computer, okay? Or you can bookmark her recipe. Come back to it later. So, that is the two things I'm going to be making today. The other thing I'm going to be making today, ahead of time, is my homemade rolls. I got some boys that just love some homemade rolls and just some mashed taters, and that's about it. So, I'm going to be making my homemade rolls, and you can catch that video on my Bread Making for Beginners series. I'm going to whip up my dough, and then I'm going to go ahead and mix the dough, maybe let it rest, knead it one time, get it all coming together, and then roll it out, shape it, get my rolls cut out, just using a mason jar, regular mouth, band, ring, you know, the ring that comes off one of these jars. Y'all, that's just my biscuit cutter, my roll cutter. I use the wide mouth for my hamburger bun cutter, okay, so they'll be a little bigger. And then I'm going to flash freeze those. And then I will keep them in the freezer, and I want to do those fresh either the night before or bake them fresh the morning of our afternoon get-together. I ain't made up my mind yet. But even if I bake them the night before, I can still like warm them up back in the oven just right before we get ready to sit down and eat. So they'll be good and warm. And oh, y'all, there's just nothing like biting into a warm piece of bread. Okay, so that's on the menu for today. I am going to be quiet because my throat's hurting. I got to fix me some warm medicinal tea and I'll sip on it. See, I'm already losing my voice. I'll sip on it. While I'm baking, y'all can just watch me. So come along, let's get these dishes made, okay? Hey, y'all, I got one more thing. I have my homegrown pumpkin puree in this bowl. We're also going to be making a pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie, sweet potato casserole, and whatever this is by Ree Drummond, okay? Sorry, Ree. I will find it, and I'll put it down there. So, y'all get to watch me make all three of these today. Y'all can catch that video, how I preserve our pumpkin. I did them 5 different ways, and people are like, oh my gosh, and butternut squash. People are like, I didn't know you could preserve them all those different ways. I'm like, yeah, because I preserve my things according to how I'm probably going to use them in recipes, okay? I just thought of something last night on my sweet potatoes, and I'll probably do it. A breakfast hash using sweet potatoes, some breakfast sausage, and then putting that fried egg on top. I just thought of that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just thought of something for breakfast. I just thought of something. We're going to get to using all my stuff, okay? And I'm going to show y'all, okay? Okay, so pumpkin pie. I'm just have to be quiet. Sweet potato casserole. And read your recipe, okay? Okay, so let's get busy. Okay, let's get started with the sweet potato casserole first. I'm going to open up my jars, pop the lids off, take the rings off, pop the lids off, and I'm going to put them in this strainer, and I am going to rinse them, get some of that extra starch off, and let them drain for just a little bit, just enough where I've got them moist. And I didn't have to wind up putting any extra water to reconstitute these, because these were actually moist on their own, and then it also helped when I rinsed them off. So I'm just going to get some of the extra starch off. I might lose a tater or two. Dad burn it. It always happens. But we're going to get these rinsed. And I'm just going to let them sit there just for a second. Then I'm going to add them to my pot on the stove. And yeah, accidents happen, but y'all, my hands are clean, my stove is clean. So I'm going to turn on my burner, and we're just going to start heating this up. And I'm going to take a potato masher and just start mashing my potatoes until they are very smooth and pureed. If you want to, you can use an immersion blender. I chose not to because I was still wanting them constituted and pureed, but not like applesauce puree. I just wanted to use my potato masher and just get them mashed enough where you could still get, you know, a good little bite of sweet potato in your mouth. So I'm just going to stir these up and mash as I go while I'm heating this up. You don't want to turn your burner up on high or you'll wind up scorching your potatoes. I always have to be careful. I used to always think everything had to be cooked on high till dear hubby just kind of said, no, it doesn't. So I've learned to, you know, slow and steady and low heat. Half a stick of butter we're going to melt into here. I've got all my ingredients set beside me. I honestly just know what goes in this because I've made sweet potato casserole all these years. And I have it, oh, why not? Just a little extra butter, why not? A lot of times I make changes, and it depends on, since I have probably doubled this recipe, I'm changing around the ingredients just a little bit. We're going to add our milk. I went ahead and added my milk so that way I don't wind up overheating the potatoes or taking a chance on scorching them. So get a little bit of liquid in there with my potatoes and my butter. Y'all excuse me while I sip on a little bit of water as I'm doing this voiceover. My throat finally got just a little bit better, but I'm sipping on some water right now. I added my vanilla, 3 eggs. I'm not going to add them just yet because I don't want scrambled eggs in this warm puree. I'm adding my cinnamon. My soul said, that's enough, my child. That's good. So I stopped right there. I'm going to give this a quick stir. Y'all, I don't know what it is about cinnamon and anything with cinnamon or cocoa powder. You just have to stir, 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 stir. I'm actually going to turn my eye off now. That butter will still continue to melt. I'm going to keep stirring and splashing everywhere. But I don't want to scorch them, so I went ahead and cut my stove eye off. I just wanted to bring these ingredients together and warm them up. They will finish in the oven. I added about a cup, I think, of brown sugar. These seasonings just pair well together. The eggs are going to act as a binder to keep it all together to where it's not just like a sweet potato sauce. It will come together like a casserole. So I'm going to remove this from the eye. And I'm going to, now it's kind of set and cooled just a tad. So now I can add my eggs so I don't have them scrambled because it's not so hot. And don't ask me why I didn't put these in a bowl and beat these up first, but it's okay. I will get them constituted in here and beaten up. And I'm just going to stir this really well till all the ingredients get incorporated. That egg finally busted. So we're going to get all these together and make sure that cinnamon is all stirred up really good. I have a very well greased 9x13 casserole dish. I'm just going to pour that over into there. And yes, I'm not going to be like the cooking shows. I'm not going to leave all that in there. I'm going to get it out and get it in that dish. Now I'm going to spread all this out. I'm kind of OCD, y'all. It's just got to be perfect somewhat. Get it all nice and pretty. Now, original sweet potato casseroles, people put the little marshmallows on next. Or they put the nuts on next, however you want to layer yours. I think it's the nuts next, and then the marshmallows on top. But y'all, I can't do the marshmallows. And the ones that like the marshmallows on it, they're okay with not having it due to other people not being able to eat them. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the nuts on top and just spread them out very evenly and coat it very good. And I believe I chose walnuts this time, not pecans. You can use either or. I'm going to very carefully take this over to my stove, set it on top, and let it just sit there and hang out while my oven is preheating. Clean up a little bit, eat a nut or two that fell off. Now I'm going to get my rolls started. I'm probably not going to take you through this whole process. If you want to see how I make my rolls and hamburger buns, check out that video on my bread making for beginners series. I take you through the whole process. I didn't want to take the time of getting my stand mixer out on this day because I needed the space on my counter. One last thing I have to clean up, put away. And I'm just going to be mixing this dough enough till it comes together into a shaggy dough. I'm not going to be kneading it with the mixer. This is just a quick way that I have found to do bread, and you'll see how easy this comes together. Y'all, and I honestly am not measuring a thing. I just did half milk, half water, some sugar, or you can use honey. I warmed it up a little bit. And then I've got to where I've added an egg to all my bread making doughs. It just helps with the texture some. And I didn't want my milk and water and sugar too warm to where it scrambled the egg. So now I'm just going to add my flour, y'all, a little at a time. I do think I wound up adding up to 5 cups. Now, I'm just going to eyeball my yeast till it feels right to my soul. And it says, that's enough, my child. I'm serious, y'all. Bread making is not complicated. I will get to that video soon, too, in my Bread Making for Beginners series. Trust me. And you will see how easy this is. I'm just going to try to mix everything together, scrape the sides of the bowl. I know I need to add some more flour. We're going to get to that. Salt is coming in a minute. I'm just going to add a little bit of flour at a time. Now, you can either add your liquid first and then put your flour in, or you can swap it around, put your flour in, and then add your liquid. But I have found that if I do the liquid first, I can add the flour as I need it, as I mix it, and I see if it's enough. You can always keep adding flour, but you can't take it out. You'll have to add more liquid if you do it the other way. That would mean getting your ingredients back out, heating it back up. This way, it's just easier by doing my liquid first, then adding my flour as I mix it and I see if I need any more. And mixing it this way is just as easy. I love my whisker right there. And it's easy to just mix. Now I'm going to put the salt in. Eyeballing it again, y'all. I'm not measuring a thing. And we're just going to mix and add more flour as I need it until I get a shaggy, hydrated dough. And then until I can do all I've done with my whisk, which is now. So I'm just going to get this, and then I'm going to like dampen my hands with some water, and I'm just going to go in with my hands, and I'm just mostly trying to gather it all in a ball, mix until there's no more dry flour pockets or dry flour visible, and I'm just going to slightly bring it together haphazardly. No stand mixer, no kneading. And you are going to see the magic happen later. Just this simple method that I have found. Just mixing until it comes together. Setting aside, a shaggy dough. Setting it aside. Letting it rest and form its own gluten. And then I'll finish showing you a little bit of the process later on. Now we got that shaggy dough. See, looks like oatmeal consistency. Hydrated just a little. Sticky, shaggy, hydrated. Now we're going to cover it up, let it rest, set it over to the side. Now we're going to work on my pumpkin pie. I took my pie crust out of the freezer. I just one day made a bunch of pie crust, Pioneer Woman's pie crust recipe. I took it out of the freezer last night, let it thaw in the refrigerator, and I'm just taking it out right now, just letting it kind of come to room temperature while I put my pumpkin puree together. Now, I do have a recipe for this in a little book there beside me. I'll show you that in a second, but I am kind of like not exactly doubling it, but like 1.5 doubling it according to the amount of pumpkin puree I wound up having. And I let that kind of drain overnight, and I put it in the refrigerator last night. So I've added my eggs. I could have probably used one last egg, but I'd just rather be safe than sorry. And I just put the extra egg in there, which would have been like double the amount of eggs that I needed. But it's okay. I'd rather be safe than sorry and not have enough, and my pumpkin puree not come together well. I'm going to add my brown sugar. Excuse me, y'all. And then I'm going to add my salt. I can just eyeball things, y'all. Look, when you get as old as dirt, and you've been baking and cooking all these years, you learn to just eyeball things. Now we're going to put our pumpkin spice in. You learn to feel, look, see, visualize your recipe, and just you learn to just know about how much cup is, how much teaspoon is, how much tablespoon is. You learn with after years of cooking. Trust me, young ladies, you will get this way. This is beginning to smell really nice, y'all. I'm adding it till you know me, till my soul says that's enough, child. Now we're going to add our milk. I know that's about a cup right there, or a cup and a half maybe, cup and a quarter. I'm going to stir until all this is well, good, and combined. especially the pumpkin pie spice, y'all. Now, in that recipe, it's an old-timey recipe. It calls for ginger, cloves, and nutmeg. That's basically the same kind of ingredients that's in pumpkin pie spice, y'all. You can do the individual ingredients, or you can just use the pumpkin pie spice. This is the cookbook I am using. This is an old as dirt cookbook. Came from my mother-in-law. Their church was doing a fundraiser to help add a life center to the side of their church. And she signed every single family member a copy. And I have used and used and used this. And now I have her copy. And I will put these recipes in the description box below. And the original authors or people who submitted their recipes will have the credit for it. And I'll put them in the description box below. But I've got to soothe my throat some, and I am drinking some medicinal tea with some extra honey added. And it's echinacea, yarrow, and mullein. And I warmed it up. That's what was beeping in my microwave. And I'm going to sip on that while I finish my baking to help soothe my throat. I'm going to take me a tablespoon of some fermented garlic and honey. I made that up from my mother. This little jar is mine. You can see I've already been dipping in it. And I just want to show y'all that I take what I make with my natural remedies. The little chunks of garlic in it. Woo! But y'all, it is no bad flavor. There's no garlicky flavor. It's got honey in it. You mostly taste the sweetness. I'm going to soothe my throat just a minute. We're going to sip. And now we're fixing to get back to doing what we got to do this morning. That does taste good, y'all. And it helped. So let's get busy again. Now we're going to work on that pie crust. It has kind of like come to room temperature just a little bit. Not to where it's going to be sticky, but not still really cold that I can't still work with it. But basically, I've already just got it flattened out when I froze it. I just need to get it a little bigger, the same size as my pie plate dish. Blah. I couldn't think of what I was going to say. I need to roll it out just a little bit bigger. It's just thick right now. That's all. I just did that just for the purpose of getting it into a Ziploc bag and pre-prepping it and freezing it for a use like today. So we're just going to smooth that out some more. I'm going to keep measuring and get it bigger than my dish there. We're just going to keep rolling it, keep flouring it, and get it as thin as I need it. And y'all, that rolling pin is as old as me just about. And I got to get it from my mother gave it to me. And yes, I do own a rolling pin. I own a bunch. And this is one of them. And this thing was made in Silver Dollar City, in Branson City, Missouri. Oh my gosh, that was like when I was 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, it's as old as dirt. I'm going to keep working with this. I got it bigger. Now I'm going to make sure it fits, because this one I've also got little ridges on the inside, and I need it to come up the side walls. I'm going to show y'all this little trick for getting your pie crust into your dish. Roll it on your rolling pin and then place it and roll it out. Y'all see how easy that is? Now I'm going to get this fitted down in here. Make sure it comes up to the side walls. Get it into the ridges and smooth it all around the bottom of the dish. I didn't spray this or anything. I don't spray my pie pans, y'all, because I've never had a problem with a pie crust sticking. So we're going to get this smoothed. Now we're going to start cutting the rough edges off. But y'all, Save that extra crust because we're going to do something special with it in just a minute. I'm going to put a lot of love into this pumpkin pie, and you'll see what I'm going to do. So we're going to get off all the little edges here. Around and around and around we go. Save it, roll it back up into a dough ball, and just set it aside. My pumpkin puree's been hanging out. Now I'm going to make sure it fits into all those little ridges in my casserole dish. I have this one that has little ridges inside it. I have one pie plate that doesn't. So this one I got to make sure I get the dents of it into there. And just smooth it all out. Now we're going to pour our pumpkin puree into here. And it's smelling so good. Mix it up just a little bit more because it's been sitting just for a second. Perfect measurement. I could not have planned that any better, y'all. Oh, yes, perfect measurements. I'm going to smooth it out. Make sure I cover, get inside. Spread it out very good. Get it all even. Make it look as pretty as I can. No wrinkles, dents, or ridges. I kind of want to get it smooth. Mash it down in there. Make sure it goes inside those ridges too to fill up the whole pie shell. I love Pioneer Woman's pie crust recipe. It's so easy to make. And you can make a head pie crust, y'all. And do them like I did and prep them and put them in your freezer to have on hand. Y'all, you can make dessert pies. You can make supper pies like chicken pot pie, shepherd's pie. Now, this is the love I'm going to put in the pie. I'm going to take that extra... Oh, yeah, the little hearts. I'm going to put extra love in it, y'all. And I am going to put some little shapes on top of my pie using some cookie cutters and just this extra dough. Y'all, I did not want this to go to waste. So I'm just going to kind of decorate it up with love. And I found some little cookie cutters. I found some hearts. I tried my best to find a leaf one, but I couldn't find a leaf one, so I'm just going to use a butterfly and a couple of little heart shapes. And we are going to decorate the top of this. I know you don't normally put decorations on top of pumpkin pie, and you don't put the lattice work. The lattice work mostly goes on apple pies or blueberry pies, cherry pies, but it's okay. This is my pie, my kitchen, my rules. I'm going to do it like this. We're going to put a little extra oomph in it. A little extra love and just a little decoration. I'm just going to figure out how I want to place everything and then get it on the top. I'm just going to keep cutting out little pieces until I use all this dough. There's a big heart. I'm just going to keep cutting out heart shapes. I only added one butterfly. The rest of them are going to be heart shapes. And I had a little big one, and then I had a little smaller one, smaller little heart shapes. Some of these are not cookie cutters. Some of these are actually like from, if you want to cut out fruits, like watermelons, melons, cucumbers, little decorative things to put like in kids' lunch boxes. I love watching the family fudge and the way she does bunches of lunches for her kids and just decorates them. And cheeses and deli meats. Yes, you can use those little cutters for those too. I'm just going to keep playing until I use all this dough up and just place it on there. Just ever so carefully, itty bitty hearts, just till I use all this dough up. Filling in little spots here and there. And this recipe is also in my book that my mother-in-law gave me. And like I said, I will type these up in the description box below and give the bakers or the recipe owners full credit for them. Excuse me. Trying to figure out how I want to place everything. I wound up replacing some stuff, spreading out just a little bit, and I was happy with it. But you can make other kind of pies too. And you can make the big pies or you can make the little pies. You can make little chicken pot pies, sloppy joe pies, shepherd's pies, meat pies, all kinds of things by taking and cutting smaller circles out of a pie crust, lining a muffin tin with the smaller circle pie crust, and making mini pies. So there's y'all some more ideas to do with pie crusts, y'all. I love a good chicken pot pie. You can also use pie crust for breakfast quiches. So take some time and double some pie crust recipes, prep them, put them in your freezer, pull them out when you need them. I'm going to squeeze in one last little bitty heart, y'all, and that was all I could use of that pie dough. And last little piece. We are going to set this over to the side, over here with my sweet potato casserole, while my oven's preheating, and they are just going to hang out. And we're going to get started with the next dish. I'm going to clean up first, get me some space ready, wipe up, clean up. Now we're going to start on my corn. I got my bags open. And y'all, you're going to see in a minute, I don't throw those bags away. We honestly reuse them until they just cannot be used anymore. I washed out that pot right there from making the sweet potatoes. I'm just trying to condense as many dishes as possible to where I don't have a lot to clean up. Carefully cut all the corn off of your cob. Put in a dish. And I mentioned in the first part of the video that this was a recipe of Ree Drummond's Pioneer Woman. I went through every single one of her cookbooks, y'all, and I could not find the recipe exactly as I'm doing it today. I think I actually combined two of her recipes, but I took out some things, redid it, and did it a completely different way. But I will find the two recipes. I will put the title of the recipes in the description box below, and I will put her website on there. It's thepioneerwomen.com, all lowercase. You can type in the title of each one of these recipes in her search bar on her website, and you'll find both of them. But I believe I just took and combined two recipes, took some ingredients out of one, added some of another one, and just kind of come up with my own. But I want to say one day, years ago, when I was watching her show, she made this as a side dish on her show, but it's not included in her recipe book. And it was so simple, y'all. I didn't even write it down. I just like, oh, I got those ingredients. Let's go make it. We got the peppers all sliced up. I just opened up my bags, y'all. I got all my peppers sliced up, diced up, added to the pot. I got one of her cutting boards, y'all. That's Pioneer Woman cutting board. It's old, too. I think I got it when her show first started coming out on Food Network. But we got all my peppers and stuff ready. Y'all, these were peppers that we grew in our garden. We brought in. We prepped them, washed them, prepped them, put them in freezer bags. Some of them we took the time to dice. Some of them we just put them in there whole and said I'll deal with them later when they thaw out and I need to cook them. So today's that day. So I took them out. I defrosted everything last night. Gonna save your corn cobs, y'all. Save them, save them, save them. I'll tell you in a minute what you can do with them. Now, I added a whole block of cream cheese. We buy cream cheese in bulk and put it in the freezer. And just for times like this, I took everything out last night, let everything thaw, and let it come to room temperature. So we're going to put it in there now, 1 pot. I'm going to get all this on the stove, and we are going to melt the cream cheese. Then I'm going to start adding the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to be adding some milk. Excuse me, y'all. My throat's beginning to get scratchy again. I'm going to be adding some milk according to how I watched her do this, y'all. And you can either make this as thick as you want it or as thin as you want it by how much milk you put in it. One time I made it and I didn't add enough milk, and dear hubby said, can you put just a little bit more milk in it so it can be a little creamier? Yes, dear, I can. I'm going to be adding my seasonings. We put in, and this is something where I change it every once in a while as I go, y'all. And sometimes I'll put in all these. Sometimes I'll leave out some. Old Bay seasoning, paprika, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder. I did say Old Bay, right? Let me go through this again in my mind. Old Bay, paprika, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder. Yes, I got them all. Okay? And like I said, sometimes I'll mix and match. Sometimes I'll put them all. Sometimes I'll only put in a few. Just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, I guess. Get all my seasonings in till it says that's enough, my child. I've made this so many times, y'all. I promise. It's another one I eyeball. We are going to stir enough. I'm not cooking this on the stove. Now, if I was serving it right away, yes, I would cook it until all the cheese and everything is incorporated, and I made sure, everything is incorporated really good. But since I'm making this and I'm for a big get-together, and I'm going to be putting this in a casserole dish and in the freezer, the oven will do the rest when I pull it out that morning and start warming everything up. And we're going to pop this in the oven and let it finish here in just a minute anyway and get it in that casserole dish. So I can put it in the freezer and pull it out the morning before. Y'all remember that bread I told y'all I got to making and I let it sit over there and rest? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see how much that rose already? Okay, we're going to start working on this, get this together. I'm going to dampen my hands a little bit so it don't stick so much. We're just going to pop a little bit of air. I am just going to knead this, bring this together, do a couple of quick little stretching folds. Y'all look at this magic at how the gluten formed itself just by letting it sit and rest. The more stretch and folds I do, the more it works the gluten and it comes together and forms that dough ball. I'm going to do a couple of stretch and folds, set it to the side again. Later on, I'll keep doing some more stretch and folds. I can also get it into a ball right now and work the dough that way and stretch it and cup it and fold it up under itself. Put it back in that bowl, set it over to the side, and that's probably all I'm going to show you right now, just for the sake of time of showing you the other things. But y'all, you can still catch this on a lot of my bread making for beginners series videos on how I'm doing this, y'all. And so catch that video, and we're just going to set it back over to the side, get some more things together, clean up a little bit. We are going to get the corn casserole, whatever you want to call it. You can actually use this as a corn dip, y'all, with chips, tortilla chips, corn chips, anything. You can actually crunch up corn chips or tortilla chips and make a crusty topping. But I'm not going to do that on this dish for this family get-together. I got a greased 9x13 casserole dish. We're going to get all that out of there and into that dish. And we are fixing to gather all of my dishes. The oven is preheated, and we're going to get them all in the oven. And we are going to let all these bake. I'm going to keep an eye on them. And some are going to get done before others. I'm just going to have to keep an eyeball on them. We're going to carefully take this over there. The aluminum foil is actually going to cover up my pumpkin pie. And you'll see that in a minute. Because I don't want to burn my crust before the pie starts getting done. So I am going to take my pie. I'm going to put it on a baking sheet just to catch anything in case it starts like bubbling over or something. I do not want that mess in the bottom of my oven. I just got it clean and ready for baking day. I'm just going to dent my aluminum foil, get it over my pie. That's going to go on the bottom rack. Sweet potato casserole and the corn casserole is going to go on the middle rack. I'm going to eyeball them, y'all. And some things are going to get done before others, so I will have to keep a watch. And we'll keep a look in on them and check them and take them out as they get done. We're going to clean up. Y'all remember me telling y'all save them corn cobs? Alright, you can make corn cob jelly. You can make corn cob stock. Throw them in with your vegetable stock. Save them. And then throw them in that stock. You can put, until you get a whole batch, you can put them in freezer bags and save them up till you get ready to make a whole bunch. Okay? Save those corn cobs. But for me, I've already got a bunch. I don't have time to make stock. They're going to actually go out in the garden and use for compost. And for the wildlife to finish picking off what they can get off of them. We wash our bags like Grandma washes those Ziploc bags. We reuse them. I scrub them out. The only ones we don't save is anything that has meat in them. But all of my produce ones, we wash out, we save, we let them dry. And I have this nifty little thing I got from Amazon. It's in my kitchen essentials list in my Amazon store. And it's like a little drying rack for these bags like this in Ziploc bags. So I place it over here to the side, put my bags on them, let them air dry, and we keep reusing those vacuum sealed bags until we honestly just cannot use them anymore. You saw the rolls. I hurried up and got them cut out, flattened out, cut out into the freezer to flash freeze. Got my kitchen wiped down, cleaned up. Now got everything out of the oven. Whew! It's been a morning, y'all. Look at this corn casserole, sweet potato casserole, my beautiful made with love pumpkin pie, I could not be happier, but I am so tired. I'm exhausted. It's nap time. This is how we use some of our home canned or frozen produce from our garden. Y'all, if you like our channel and our videos, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us some comments, nice ones please, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see y'all in the next video.